Show me your moves.
Welcome all to episode 47 of Geek Life Live, your source of all the nerdy news that you need to know. I'm your host with the most, aka the baritone that'll make you moan, the fattest sax. You already know what it is. And joining me today, summoned directly from the crystals charged under the blood moon, the LeBron of Bronze, Bronwyn the warrior princess, is back this week. How have you been, Bron?
I've been very well. It's really great to be back. I know it's been a while, but it feels wonderful. I'm excited to be with all of you.
Yes. I'm very excited to have you back. And back again, it's the Grammy-nominated, cheerleader prom-dated, barbershop player-hated. It's Comrade Kev. How you been, man?
Doing great. Jake really wanted to make sure his presence was felt.
Right?
No, I'm doing fantastic, man. You know, just I guess getting player hated on at the barbershop. Apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Always a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, somebody got to do some hating. It can't be all love. It's got to be some hating. But anyway, how have y'all been surviving the post-re-apocalypse?
I've been good. Yeah, I've been really amazing. I've gone on all these cool trips, like camping adventures, and I created two raves in the desert that were really fun. Had some like primal dancing by a campfire, and I haven't really been that plugged into electronics lately, but I have been reading a lot, and I was reading Dune, so I'm very excited for that movie. I just got to the point yesterday that's like where the movie ends, so I'm gonna go see that tomorrow night, and I'll let you know what I think after that happens.
Nice, that's what's up. It's kind of hard to top like two desert raves and primal dancing. And all of that.
Yeah.
No lie.
Also, primal screaming. Okay, if you guys haven't done this, go to a cliffside where there's no people and just scream. It's wonderful.
You gotta be cathartic for real. What about you, Kev? How about you, sir?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily screaming primally, other than at randos online.
Oh.
No, I've been good. You know, just catching up on some things and playing a little bit of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh.
Yeah, and getting some Halo Infinite, which we'll get into some Halo soon here to see if throw a little sneak peek at you. That's been about it.
No, for sure. That all sounds fantastic, from the nature side of things to the digital side of things. It's actually pretty fun. I'm more on the digital side of things. Enjoying the newly released beta. I'm also enjoying the Battlefield game that's come out recently. Trying to stay up on stuff and just enjoying my PC because there were some issues again, but they have since corrected themselves. So I'm having fun there. But anyway, if you're new to the show, we're about a 2-hour-ish mashup of all the pop culture news you need to know and that you love. We talk about all your favorite shows, movies, video games, and safety protocols, or lack thereof. But more on that later. If you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to all of our social medias. The link tree is in the bio. For even more content, follow us on our personal socials. You can find me on Twitch at _fattest_sax and at Javen Shepherd everywhere else. Bron, where can they find you?
You could find me at Space Nymph on Instagram mostly, and on Twitch as well.
All right, wonderful. And you, Kev?
You can find me at Totally Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we got a great show planned for you all. Kev, hit us with that rundown.
So we're kicking things off this week with all that nerdy news you need to know, from not being able to spell OBS without BS to Earthworm Jim coming back. Then we're doing a little future forecasting, where this week we're talking about the VGAs. And finally, we'll deep dive in this week's deep dive on the return of the show and what that means for safety, plus our top 10 sidekicks of all time and this week's top Zen. Now that we've ran that down, it's time for some headlines. Doodle, do the dandy.
Tonight at 11.
Gruesome! Siege on the test of the emergency meteor warning system. In other news,
Thanks, Kev. First up, Streamlabs drops OBS from company name in response to recent controversy. Streamlabs OBS, a leading company for live streaming software, is removing the phrase OBS from its name after facing criticism from multiple sources, including popular streamers and other companies. Starting today, the company will be known as Streamlabs. On Tuesday, the company also faced allegations that it had copied its website descriptions and design from a competitor called Lightstream. Streamlabs responded to this claim from Lightstream in a public tweet. Quote, "Text on the landing page was placeholder text that went into production by error. This is our fault. We removed the text as soon as we found out. Our intended version is now live. Lightstream team is great, and we've reached out directly to them to apologize." End quote. On Wednesday, Streamlabs used a statement saying that it would drop the OBS from its name and that it takes full responsibility for its actions. Streamlabs' decision to drop OBS from its name comes on the heels of a public tweet from the original creators of the open source software, OBS. OBS's tweet claims that Streamlabs reached out ahead of its launch to ask about including OBS in its software title. OBS asked Streamlabs not to do this, but Streamlabs did it anyways. Quote, "We've tried to sort this out in private, and they have been uncooperative at every turn," end quote, the tweet from OBS said. Next up in our news headlines, yeah, that's a heavy story. This one's a little bit less. Spider-Man No Way Home trailer unleashes the multiverse of villains. The new trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home throws Peter Parker headfirst into the multiverse. The big look, released on Tuesday, gives viewers a taste of the timeline chaos that's coming when the movie is released on December 17th. After months of teasing, this trailer finally reveals the full extent of Marvel's Spider-Man universe. After Doctor Strange casts a spell to make people forget he is Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Peter Parker is pit against the villains of earlier movies. Lined up are Dr. Octopus, played by Alfred Molina, who we saw in the first trailer, Electro, Jamie Foxx, and the Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe. Don't expect any other Spider-Man just yet. One character we don't see in the trailer is Eddie Brock and his symbiote pal Venom, but there's been no confirmation that Tom Hardy would appear in the movie, but we know the character at least exists in the same universe as Tom Holland's Spider-Man. In the after-credits sequence for Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Eddie and Venom are transported to a new reality, seemingly by the Doctor Strange spell from the first No Way Home trailer. Once they arrive, they see J.K. Simmons reveal Peter Parker's secret identity, proving that they're finally in the MCU, even if they aren't in this trailer. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Christmas definitely can't come soon enough.
I can't wait.
Right? All right, next up, new Earthworm Jim TV series is in the works. In today's edition of Who Asked for This, Variety reports that an Earthworm Jim TV series is in the works at Interplay TV Entertainment, the current owners of the franchise. Interplay released a 2-minute teaser trailer featuring Earthworm Jim in a tongue-in-cheek behind-the-music-like interview describing his history as a spacefaring adventurer. The series, titled Earthworm Jim Beyond the Groovy, reportedly follows Earthworm Jim's adventures fighting evil from planet to planet throughout the galaxy, with each planet featuring a different race of anthropomorphic animal-like aliens. Earthworm Jim's ultimate goal is to get back to his home planet, you guessed it, Earth. I don't know if I'm supposed to know this reference. I don't. Do you?
I know Earthworm Jim, and I'm weird. I don't know how this is gonna work. Is it animated? Like, who's gonna be like? He's literally just a worm in a suit.
He's a little worm.
Yeah,
it's
like
yeah,
that's not his
well,
body. Like when he dies, he's like a worm, and he has to like slither. It's weird.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's just based off an old video game, so it was appropriate.
yeah,
Who asked for this? But yeah.
yeah,
All right. Well,
yeah.
more in the world of multiverses. Multiverse officially revealed by Warner Brother Games. After numerous leaks and rumors over the past few weeks, WB Games has today officially released Multiverses. As expected, the game is a new title in the platform fighter genre and sees numerous different characters associated with Warner Brothers coming together to duke it out with one another. And perhaps best of all, many of the iconic voices associated with the characters will be reprising their roles once again. As a whole, Multiverses is said to be free to play and will be released at some point in 2022 across PlayStation, Xbox, and PC platforms. The game will boast a unique 2v2 style format with a roster that WB Games says it will continue to expand in the future. Lastly, last up, Disney Plus Day 2021, the biggest news and trailers. Fans got treated to a day full of announcements and trailers from the mouse. Here's just a few things coming to Disney Plus that they announced on Disney Plus Day. First off, new Ice Age movie is coming from Disney Studios, not Blue Sky. The Proud Family reboot keeps getting bigger and better. Star Wars Obi-Wan got its first behind-the-scenes look. New X-Men cartoon set in the 90s animated series continue is coming out to Disney Plus. Prey is a new Predator prequel movie coming to Hulu. Marvel announces Hawkeye spin-off Echo and more Disney Plus shows. And lastly, Oscar Isaac is hearing voices in the first Disney Plus teaser for Moon Knight. What do you guys believe was the biggest announcement from Disney Plus Day?
Oh man, Kev, I'll let you go ahead and take that.
Yeah, I think for sure Moon Knight. I think that was kind of obvious one. I feel like I
Yeah.
wouldn't say biggest announcement. I'll just say which ones. Yeah, I think Moon Knight for sure. I mean, we already knew that was coming, but I think the X-Men cartoon. I think that's a huge one, especially the one from like the '90s animated one, where that's basically a cult classic that they're essentially reprising. So I think that's a huge announcement. And then also that Obi-Wan scene.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to piggyback right off you, man. The Moon Knight, I'm super excited for Moon Knight. My first introduction to Moon Knight had to be Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the first game, and I was like, who is this character that's shrouded in this hood in silver and just flipping around with his staff? I love it. So I'm excited to see a show on him. So yeah, I would feel like that would be number one. I honestly feel falling like quickly behind it, more so than the Hawkeye spinoff, would be the Obi-Wan series that we're gonna get. I feel like a lot of people are gonna enjoy that. So that's where I'm at. Yeah.
I love everything Oscar Isaac does, so very excited for Moon Knight.
Yeah. What show are you guys most excited about?
So I'm just hearing about this Proud Family thing, so that's pretty exciting. So I remember watching that as when I was a kid and really enjoying it. So I'd like to see how they revive that and kind of bring it into a new generation of viewers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
No,
Oh man.
Yeah, we need the Proud Family back, I think.
We do. Oscar Proud.
What about you, Sex?
I'm right there. Like, out of this list, and I'm looking at everything, the Proud Family is the thing that sticks out like a sore thumb, because it's like, really, the Proud Family's coming back? I mean, I'm not mad at all, but it's like, really, like,
did we ask for this?
Look, we didn't ask for this, but I'm more down for this than I am from Earthworm Jim. If I'm just gonna be candid, I'm just like, ain't nobody asked for Earthworm Jim, but I didn't ask for the Proud Family, but I would certainly take
an Earthworm Jim show. I didn't know there was that many Earthworm Jim fans. Like, I remember, like, I was like,
wait, so is he literally a worm? He looks like a worm?
He
looks like a worm, and I think like I don't know if it's like he's in like a robotic man suit or something, but his actual body is just his worm head. Like that head you see on top, like that's just him. So when he dies, he just has to he just crawls away as that little worm.
My gosh.
It's weird. Yeah, it's
It's
I don't know what the plot is. I don't know how he ended up. I don't know why his name's Jim, but
yeah, it's a lot to unpack there. But moving along, what does Streamlabs dropping OBS means for OBS?
I think Streamlabs is in a little bit of hot water coming from like a lot of directions. I remember I got wind of this before like the story came out, or like while it was coming out. I was on Twitter and I saw somebody like posted something, tell me you copied your or you know, tell me you copied someone's homework without copying someone's homework or something. And it was another it was Streamlabs like marketing collateral, and it was another streaming sort of operating software, and it's literally copied it verbatim. Like the only thing changed was the branding colors, but they literally copied the layout, they copied the copy. Like, it was literally everything. It was weird. Like and then I was like, oh, this is bad. Like
1000%.
When they tried to justify by saying it was placeholder text, but the fact that you're using the exact thing someone else is doing as a guide for like not thinking of anything
even down
original.
coming down to stuff like that nuanced and small, right?
Yeah,
like if you're cutting corners there, like
no, it's actually it's pretty more involved than even what we have here, because even Elgato, like it's not just OBS that Streamlabs ripped off of. It was OBS. It was, OBS, it was Streamlight, it was Elgato. There was a couple of other things that they had done. I had watched a video where this streamer and YouTuber went through all the things that Streamlabs had done and who they copied from. Like Elgato is famous, for having this thing called the Stream Deck that they came out with, is something that you can use. Everything that you need for your stream is right there in the Stream Deck, and you can activate it in this device. Well, Streamlabs OBS came out with something that is exactly like it, but it's an app on your phone, and it's called Stream Deck. And I'm like, they have since changed the name from Stream Deck to just the Deck or something to that effect. So it's like, come on, y'all. It's like you can be doing better than that. And I'm really considering switching for not the reasons of they're biting off of OBS. I mean, because if it works, but it's killing my CPU. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to OBS, where that doesn't do so much damage, and I don't drop frames, and my stream doesn't crash. So there's that.
Right. And that's the other thing too. Like, I think even I think it's kind of just a bad signs all the way around, because when you have like people like streamers that have like kind of the cachet of like Pokemon saying they're breaking, they're basically cutting ties with you. And then this like kind of windfall happens where it's like everyone like you're out now, and you're in a bad way. And this is like before I don't know how, but sort of I guess copyright infringing like IP lawsuits can come from this. Like when that starts happening, I don't know, like Streamlabs might not be around anymore in like 6 months. Or they might sell off and become something else. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. What did everyone think of the new Spider-Man trailer?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about these worlds converging, because one thing I always thought was kind of everything felt really disjointed from all the Spider-Mans. Like they wanted to kind of pretend the other ones didn't exist, and now they're acknowledging it, which is super cool. I'm really excited to have Willem Dafoe back as Green Goblin. Like he killed it in that role, and that's going to be amazing. So bring it on.
Yeah, this is the Spider-Man movie I've been waiting for. You know what I mean? So like, it's like, yes, the other Spider, people that play Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, they're not confirmed in this movie. But I'm still, even if they're not, the cast of villains that are surrounding Tom Holland is amazing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I like the rework. I 100% like the rework to Jamie Foxx's Electro, because the Electro in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie was like, it could be better. But, considering that it's like, the multiverse, so things are different, it's really cool that he gets a facelift in that situation. So I'm actually very excited about that. And yes, Bron, I'm with you. Willem Dafoe, let go.
Like, yeah. And I think Venom is totally going to be in it. Like, they're teasing it enough. They just don't want to announce it yet because they want it to be this big mic drop moment. But, like, come on, Venom is going to be in this movie for sure.
I hope so. I feel like he has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like,
I feel like that the bit of Venom that we got with Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, that was such a build-up. The whole like Venom is going to be in Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, and Venom was in that movie for 15 minutes, if that.
But it was a great 15 minutes.
It was like the only part of the movie that was good, but it was like it wasn't enough. So yeah, it's crazy. But
yeah,
with multiverses, who's stoked for this one? So who are you guys maining day one, and why is it Arya Stark?
I mean, I don't know if I'm choosing her over Batman, but no, I think the bigger story here is this the new wave? Like, are we like, you had battle royales, now we're doing
Like
I guess
mashups.
melee, yeah, melee brawls,
mashups.
yeah. Like, is this like what's another universe that we could see like in this type of format?
It's
like a they already did a PlayStation one, didn't they?
But they kind of already like done stuff like that with like the DC universe versus Mortal Kombat situation. Like, how would that even mesh up? You know what I mean? Like, how does that work? You know what I mean? In those, in those areas and things like that. And
now you got Arya Stark versus Swamp Thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what is she gonna do? It's like what is she gonna do with Batman? You know what I mean?
She killed the Night King.
Yeah, she killed the Night King. It's not
Bro,
Batman.
First off, no one's stopping.
Batman is just a man.
No one's stopping Ultra Instinct Shaggy. So we're just
1000%.
Yeah.
Oh man. What about you, Ron? Who are you excited for in this?
So give me the cast of characters. I don't know who else is gonna be in it. Do we know definitively the list, or just like anyone in their universe is like up for?
So I think I'm looking at it. I think like Shaggy from Scooby Doo, Steven Universe, Harley Quinn, Arya Stark,
Universe,
Finn, Jake.
Oh, that's a wrap.
Jake.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. Let's go.
You get them both. I'll do Finn and Jake.
See, I just knew you were gonna pick that. That's totally appropriate. But yeah, like that's gonna be interesting, and like you said, that's dropping in 2022, and it's gonna supposedly be free to play. And I'm actually looking forward to it when it comes out, just to see what it's gonna be like.
Oh, it's free to play. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's free to play. We should all stream it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's You know what? Thank you, Bron. That is actually a fantastic.
I mean, it's yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Right. So we're moving on here. We're gonna have our top story today. Halo turns 20 years old. Who feels old yet? Because Halo's turned 20 years
say those words.
old. I'm gonna say it one more time and look directly into the camera. Halo turned 20 years old.
Damn.
Bro, I was
here next year.
like in 5 more years, it'll be an antique. That's there. Well, that's not all the news we have for you this week. Our top story is that Halo turned 20 and gave us the gift we've long been waiting for. Halo is back. The month of November is upon us, and nothing invokes alien covenant, galaxy destroying rings, and super soldiers in big green suits quite like a nice fall breeze. It may be regular old November to the rest of the world, but to us, it's Halo-vember. Here's everything announced at Xbox's 20-year so far. Halo Infinite multiplayer beta is available now. As a thank you to the Xbox community for 20 years of support, 343 Industries launched the free-to-play Halo Infinite multiplayer beta and Season 1 3 weeks early, available starting now for all players on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Windows PC. Celebrate 20 years of Xbox with over 70 new backward-compatible games. a teaser for the up-and-coming Halo TV show. Xbox even partnered with Gucci to drop a $10,000 Xbox Series X with case combo. Who's copping the Gucci Xbox Series X? Who swagged
Jake.
out enough to cop that? Jake, get your Supreme headband in order for Gucci Xbox Series X, player. Anyway, what are you guys most excited about from Halo Day? What got y'all ready?
To be quite honest, I'm not a huge Halo fan.
I'm gonna sip some water in sadness.
Well, I'll just go ahead and say the obvious. It was them releasing the multiplayer beta that same day. Because I think you called me and was like, "Hey,
I did
download Halo Infinite multiplayer." I was like, "For what?" It's like, "Just download it." And I'm like, "For what?" And you're like, "Just download it." And I'm like, "For what?" And you're like, "Just download it." I'm like, "But it says it's not out yet." And it's like, "Just download it." And I downloaded it, and it was out, and we've been playing it ever since. And it's been amazing, and it's been so much fun. And I feel like I'm not gonna age myself, but I feel like I'm that person again.
We'll go into more of the beta a little bit later. But yeah, I'm obviously most exciting thing about it is obviously the beta, like the multiplayer beta, because I wasn't looking for it because I got a FaceTime call from Sad Gaming. He hit me up. He was like, "Are you downloading it? Are you making it?" I didn't know what he was talking about at first. He was like, "I don't know what you're doing today, but that's what I'm doing today." And I was like, "What are you even talking about? The Halo multiplayer beta is out now. Download it now." I was like, "Oh my God, I don't know what the else I'm doing today, but it's canceled because I'm doing this." So that's just what happened. So I'm super excited about that. Are you worried about the Halo series being on Paramount Plus?
No, I mean, because I don't know. I think I'm gonna be worried for it wherever it goes, mostly because video games to Hollywood never translates well, other than like TV shows. I don't know what to think. I mean, Peacock's not. I mean, I don't know what they have. Honestly, I watched Halloween. That was best. So I can't say.
Is Paramount?
Paramount.
Plus.
Oh, Paramount. I'm getting confused. Sorry, Paramount. Oh, that.
Thank you, bro.
I don't know. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I don't know, cause so from what I remember, the Halo show, they had talked about this for years. I think the Halo show was supposed to be on Showtime, and I believe Showtime's under Paramount. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I mean, if that's the case, then it's still status quo. But I don't know. I hope it's good.
Man, Bron, what about you? Just even though you're not really a Halo fan, just a video game translating over to a series, how do you feel like it's going to work out on Paramount Plus?
So I don't have as much invested, so I'm not as worried, but I think that Paramount Plus has done some good things. I know they're doing Star Trek Discovery, which is apparently really good. And one thing that I kind of worry about, you in Halo, your face is covered the whole time, right? Like you don't show your face. And I think that's hard in a TV show or any kind of cinema to relate and really feel the emotions of a character when they are covered. So I think they're going to have to kind of decide, are they going to break from that? Are they going to show the face of Master Chief? Or are they going to have to work through those obstacles, which I know is possible because they did that in The Mandalorian by keeping Pedro Pascal's face covered. So who knows?
Right, I'm right there with you as far as how this is going to work out with him just being in a mask, in a helmet the whole time. Now, as far as his emotions, since you're not invested and don't know, Master Chief has one mode, and that's black. And that's just black Air Force energy. And that's just all it is, 24/7. Like you're just gonna get. I ain't got time for this shit. In your face, I'm killing everything, trying to save the Earth. The only thing I care about is Cortana in my head, and you will never see me cry concerning Cortana. But everybody else dies. So I feel like for the Halo fans, that's gonna be okay because it's we Master Chief isn't emotional. Master Chief
I think I need more than that in the protagonist.
See, that's just it. Like, in the grand scheme of things, will it work for the whole of entertainment? Maybe not, because not everybody's a Halo fan. But for everyone who's a Halo fan, who's not going to complain that he doesn't have a helmet on the whole, that he has a helmet on the whole time, is going to be like, yeah, this is Master Chief. This is what he does. He just rips grunts in half, kicks brutes in the backs and shoots them in the back of the skull. Smacks elites around. You know what I'm saying? Stabs everything, shoots everything, and talks to a robot in his head, like an AI in his head. That's it.
I think this would be genius. This would be so good if they got the fight choreographer from John Wick.
Oh,
yes.
Oh,
yes.
Ron.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh,
I would love that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't even read this planner. Oh my God. That just
Yeah.
erased everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And then for some reason it's Keanu Reeves playing Master Chief, but you just never see him.
That would be
Okay,
funny.
you want to know something dumb? And this is you did perfect example, Brian, with Mandalorian. This is why I think it might be able to work if they just kind of look at that, because I think the Mandalorian worked because it had a good cast of characters and obviously Baby Yoda. So yeah, exactly. So if they do something like that, maybe a good supporting cast, which Halo has, right? When you're playing Halo, you're not really invested in Master Chief because you are Master Chief. So I'm wondering how they're gonna do that, right? Like on screen where they put you you're not Master Chief now, you're watching him. So I think the way to do that is the great supporting cast of character, which the Halo universe does have. So I think they can do that and be successful. But I say all that because what's dumb is when I watched Mandalorian, I didn't look at the casting at all. I don't even know. I just went into it blind. I didn't even know it was Pedro Pascal. So when he took off his helmet, I was like, oh shit! I was like, it's a motherfucking sand snake or whatever his name was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. It's Sand Snake. That's
So-
great.
Wait, what is his name in Game of Thrones?
Oh,
I can't even
God.
place the character now.
It's Sand Snake now. That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is now for the remainder of this show. It's Sand Snake. In chat, if you know the name of Pedro Pascal's character in Game of Thrones, please type it in chat. But until
please.
further notice, it is Sand Snake.
Yeah. But Savage has a good point. Cortana is 90% of the dialogue most of the time.
Yeah, no, 1,000%.
Yeah.
he talks very, very seldom. When he talks, it's a little bits here and there, but yeah. But
Is
yeah,
Cortana a robot or a person?
she's an AI. She's a
AI, okay.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
yeah, it's awesome.
Is she or her? Do they have a love story?
It's unclear. They have a
not really, but there is. He definitely cares for her, and she cares for him.
It's
Okay.
there's-
will they, won't they, how will they
Ooh,
situation.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, now I'm
kinda-
invested in the show. I'll watch
Did
it.
you ever see the
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
Her with
No, I didn't.
Joaquin Phoenix? And okay, so it's kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So how awesome is it to have a new Halo and see Master Chief back in the headlines? I mean, I
I
guess
like
this
it.
question is more directed to you, Kev, because I play this game, so
Yeah,
Kev,
I think it's cool because I was reading an article the other day that was saying that how important this game is for the Halo franchise. It was a Polygon article, and they were saying because the last two Halos, Halo, that were done by 343, they weren't bad, but they just didn't feel like Halos, and that was the problem. So it's how do you get around that? What is it? What is it like? Is it is it because Bungie has the soul of Halo still, and you can't figure out how to sort of reincarnate it into this
Right.
new sort of machine? So I think, from everything I'm reading, everything it seems like a lot of the lead developers are saying is that they've been taking steps back, listening to fans and input and stuff, and even just their own sort of personal because they're fans of the series too. So their own kind of personal attachments to it, and trying to figure out how they can best do the series justice. and which is why they came out with, I think, the format of what they're doing with Halo Infinite. While they haven't like announced it being a sort of live service game, like like the Fortnites or the Apexes of the world, that's kind of the direction they're intending on going, right? Like this is it. Like this is the Halo for all Halos.
Right.
So I think we're not gonna know because we played the multiplayer, and the multiplayer is kind of akin to how it used to feel. We might be waxing nostalgic a little bit, but I've enjoyed it so far. So now I think the key is how strong the campaign is going to be, and I think that's the kicker. Because and I've been seeing people also comment on the fact that people are like, oh, it needs a battle royale mode, and people are like, no, don't put battle royale in this game. Like you don't, like this isn't a game that follow the sort of direction of other games to set the precedent of games, right? Like
Right.
This is the reason that like fucking Call of Duty,
why
Halo
matchmaking
walks so
exists.
Call of Duty can run. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, matchmaking
So
exists because of Halo.
Yeah. So what you do is, I think you figure out how to modernize it so it's playable, right? Just like in like the mechanics of the game, but not adding too much to where you don't even recognize the game anymore. And I think that's kind of what they're doing here. Like it definitely feels like it. And yeah, I think as far as like right, this is Microsoft's sort of baby, right? Like Nintendo has Mario, PlayStation has everybody, and then
Bags.
and Xbox has Master Chief. So yeah,
No,
this is Microsoft's Mario with the gun.
That's here we go. Essentially,
Yeah.
this is what it is, except with brute shots and fucking plasma grenades. I'm excited for Chief to be back in rotation. One of the things I'm gonna get here. So, what is the biggest thing you want to get out of Halo Infinite? And I'm gonna ask this to you all, but I'll start off with that. One of the things I'm looking to get out of it is, it's going to be hard to do this because there's been so many, but a unique Halo playing experience. You know what I'm saying? Like a unique playing experience with Chief with the new things that you can do. Because with the Halo 5 Guardians, like 25% of the game you play with Chief, the other 75% of the game you play with Spartan Locke. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So this is like what you were talking about as far as it kind of not feeling like Halo,
Yep.
with 343. Now I feel like 343 has done a phenomenal job, but I'm definitely looking to playing a game that is you are manning Spartan 117. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what you're doing. So I'm looking.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I'm looking for is something where I can have a unique experience with Chief, and something a little inappropriate, something a little not PC, something a little toxic. I'm looking for the toxic multiplayer play, just because this is what I'm used to. Like I think as much, and we'll get to the beta multiplayer in a moment, and you're smiling, Kev, because you know what I'm talking about. Like we'll get to that in a moment. Like I enjoy the beta, but there is it's like there's a seasoning that's missing from it's good, but there's a little bit of toxicity and hate that's missing, that's making it not what it was. And I'm not gonna go into deets, but you already know what it is. But Brian, I would suggest if you've never played Halo before, especially since it's free, it's free on PC or whatever. If you have time, whatever, just give it a shot. Just see what's good.
I've played it. I just don't enjoy it.
Oh,
It scares me.
Really?
Yeah, everyone's trying to kill you.
That's pretty scary. I won't lie. Like the first Halo is pretty scary, especially when you come across the Flood, not knowing that the Flood even
Oh
exists
my
in that game.
God.
Yeah. I was like, there's zombies. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
zombies.
I'll try it.
Wonderful. You can play with
Okay.
me, Evan and I.
Okay.
It's a good time. I promise.
Yeah.
Wait, I need an Xbox though, right?
You have a PC. It works if you have a PC.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
100%. But yeah, so that's what we got for Halo. Super excited for that. Moving on, we are to our top story for this week's mod section. We wanted to break down some of the top categories and nominees from this year's upcoming the Game Awards. Paper
Yes.
doodle that, dandy. The Game Awards are right around the corner, December 9th to be exact. And with the nominees being announced last week, we thought it would be a good time to see who got the nom and who got the shaft. We'll start with some of the smaller ones, like most anticipated game. Nominees for most anticipated games are Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Starfield, Horizon Forbidden West, sequel to Breath of the Wild. Do you think there are any snuffs in there, Kev?
I guess, like, I know there's a bunch of games that have been announced. Like, I mean, like, for instance, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen. So, like, Mass Effect, I'm super anticipating that. I know it's not going to happen next year or who knows how long. So I'm guessing they're saying, like, these are games anticipated to come out next year. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe Rainbow Six, Extraction, maybe. But I mean, this is a heavy list. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. What about you, Brian? Do you think there's anything in this list that's snuffed out?
I think that this list makes me very happy, and as it is, it slaps. So I don't think anything.
There you go.
I'm not missing anything. I know what I'm excited for off this list. Do you want to know what I'm excited for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, who do you think will win? Who do you think will win?
So
I want to hear
most
what Brian's excited for.
Obviously, new Breath of the Wild, or like a new Zelda game. I don't know, is it specifically a sequel to Breath of the Wild, or is it a new Zelda game? I'm very excited. I always want there to be more Zelda. Also, God of War. Yes. Ragnarok, let's bring it. Their last game was so good, and I think it did such a good job with the whole like lore of the Norse mythology, and Ragnarok is just such like an epic battle in time. So bring it on. I'm excited for that game. I think those are my top two on this list. What about you, Kev?
So I did something just came up it came through my head. I think it was Dad speaking to me from the beyond, wherever Dad is.
He's astral projecting.
Yeah, he's astral projecting. Guys, you forgot about Pokemon Legends. Yeah, so my thing I would say would probably what happened. I'd say Gotham Knights. That'd be my pick.
Oh God, thank you. Oh,
right?
I was forgetting something.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. I think yeah.
Right. I'm right there with you. Gotham Knights.
But I mean, I think that's a weird award. Like, how do you have an award for something that may or may not be delayed yet?
Also, may or may not even happen. Like,
yeah.
To be honest with you, that's also a thing. Like,
yeah.
I
think
my God.
Starfield's got some delays too, which I'm super looking forward to, by the way.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm right there with you, Brian. The two that I'm most anticipated for is the sequel to Breath of the Wild, whether it's a direct sequel or not, and God of War Ragnarok. I really appreciate the cinematic work in that video game. The simple fact that a lot of people don't pay attention to this, that video game was one shot. The entire game was one shot, except the very end of the game. So everything that happened was in sequence. There was never a break in the cinematic, from the gameplay to everything. It was one whole shot, which is incredible. So there's that. It's fantastic. So I'm definitely looking forward to Ragnarok. So nominated for best multiplayer games are Back 4 Blood, Knockout City, It Takes Two, Monster Hunter Rise, New World, and Valheim. Braun, do you think there are any snuffs here?
So would the new Halo be like a part of this because it technically came out this year, or is it going to be considered in the next year because it's just like the beta? I don't really know how that works. Where would it be categorized? Because I think that could definitely earn a place on this list if
I'm
that's
right.
the case.
I'm right there with you. I think simply because it's beta.
Mhm.
And it's not a game that's like all of these games are out. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Or have
Yeah.
released. Halo Infinite has not released because it's just the
Officially.
multiplayer beta, and that's just what it
Right.
is for now.
Okay.
So I was
Mhm.
thinking the same thing when I looked at this list. I was like, why is Halo not on this list? Like, but it was like
Mhm.
it is beta, so it makes sense.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what about you? What about you, Kev?
No, there hasn't really been outside of these games. There haven't been really any like world beaters as far as multiplayer games that have come out. Because what Grounded came out. I mean, I guess that was beta, but that was 2020 technically, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
2020.
yeah, I think this list is solid. I think this is exactly where it needs to be at. Again, I think Dodd is trying to take over again. Um, um, and say Pokemon Unite.
I was about to say Pokemon Unite.
No, for me, I think I don't think they missed anything. I think I've played about half these on the list, and I can't think of anything new that's come out multiplayer wise that should be on here. I don't think. Yeah.
Right.
What was your favorite on this list, Kev? What do you think will win?
Back for Blood was my
Mhm.
favorite, and I think I wanted to win, but I think It Takes Two is gonna win. That's my pick. I think It Takes Two, and we'll get to. I don't want to spoil ahead, but I think It Take Two is gonna win a couple awards. And I think this might be one of them, for sure.
It's funny that you say that because It Takes Two is definitely up there for several different
Yeah.
nominations. Sure. What
Mhm.
about you, Braun? What do you think is going to win in this best multiplayer situation here out of this list?
So to be quite honest, I haven't really played a lot of these games, but when I was looking at these, I like kind of preparing for the show, I decided to look them all up to learn a little bit more about them, and I think that Valheim kind of struck my interest the most. So I haven't played it, but out of all these games, it seems like the one I would enjoy the most.
Right, and I'm right there with you. Biasly, I would say Back for Blood. In reality, I would think Valheim as well because it's been streamed so much, so there's so much content on YouTube of people playing it and covering the game. Like it looks super duper fun. Like I want to get into it and if I have time. But yeah, I feel like that would be what it is. All right, nominations for best narrative games are as follows: Deathloop, It Takes Two, again, Life is Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy, Psychonauts 2. Kev, do you think there are any snuffs on this list? Or something missing? Something got snuffed out?
Again, we were going through like when we were doing our prep, we were going through like a bunch of stuff, and I was just to double check, like seeing what came out. And this is a very solid list. And like I was surprised by a lot of the nominations on here, honestly. Not surprised by Guardians of the Galaxy, Life is Strange, not surprised. Definitely not surprised. Psychonauts, I'm glad. I'm very glad it's on here. I'm just surprised. I didn't know everyone else enjoyed it as much as I did. So I'm like super glad it's here. But
I think it's so fitting in this day and age because isn't like it very conspiracy driven in the narrative?
It's a weird. So this is like a trippy. Like someone was definitely on some psychedelics when they made this. So you basically play an agent like who's part of a agency that does, I guess for lack of better words, telekinetic psychic ability stuff. But it's also kind of metaphorical because the way it works is like you go into the minds of these people that you're battling and you literally come across their greatest fears, their anxieties.
Whoa.
Like there's literally anxiety monsters that you have to fight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That sounds so
it's
cool.
Like, yeah, there's like a disclaimer for mental health, like in the beginning of the game. Yeah, so it's a really well done game. Honestly, if you have Game Pass, it's on it. Highly recommend checking it out. But yeah, I'm super glad it's on here. And as far as any snuffs, I guess 2021 is like a weird year. There hasn't been a lot of new releases. There's been a lot of redos. There's been a lot of remasters, content expansion add-ons, which I don't think warrant a nomination in my opinion. So I think they got it right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I don't feel like there's something anything got snuffed out for a
This
best
is a
narrative.
weird year.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
because I feel like so much came out last year. I remember when we covered the video game awards on the last show, it was like so many games.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much
So
this year.
interesting.
Not so much this year. And
Yeah.
if the ones that did come out, they came out and they weren't completely
Finished.
ready and they were broken. Like I would love to
Like
say,
Cyberpunk.
oh my
Cyberpunk.
god,
Or was that last year?
that was
that
Well,
last
this
no,
year.
year?
that would check. Well, no.
That
So
was-
I think
wasn't it
Cyberpunk
2019?
came out. It came out December, but I think it was
Oh.
technically after the Game Awards, so it might have
Uh-huh.
technically qualified for this year.
Mhm. Everyone
I
just kind of forgot about that game because I feel like it was the most
Yeah.
anticipated last year. I don't know if it got
Super
that,
hype.
but for me it was. And then
Yeah.
it came out. It had all of its problems, and everyone just stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Jake, we got your Cyberpunk. I feel like there's nothing's missing here. As far as who I feel will win, I'm looking in chat here. Sad Gaming says Guardian wins easy. I can't say because I haven't played any of these games. But the simple fact that I see Psychonauts, Deathloop, and It Takes Two in multiple categories. Now we're not covering all the categories tonight, but the fact that I see them in so many different categories for the Game Awards, it's got me thinking like, man, these games got to be right. But out of the list here, what do I think will win? I'd probably say It Takes Two, because like I've heard a whole lot about that game and it looks interesting, and when people have streamed it, and it's one of them.
Yeah.
So nominations for Game of the Year are as follows: Deathloop, It Takes Two, Psychonauts 2, Resident Evil Village, Ratchet and Clank, The Rift in Time, and Metroid Dread. Now, any snuffs, Bronwyn?
I don't think so. Not that I can kind of see off the list from the top of my head. What about? Do you think there are any, Kev?
Again, I know we're like kind of like just a broken record here, but no. I think a lot of this on this half of this list was just in the last category.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
every bit of it.
So no, I played Metroid Dread. It's a really great game. You know what I like? There's 3 platformers on this. Actually, no, 4. Ratchet and Clank. There are 4 platforming games on this list. Like that's awesome. Like I think like we're bringing back platforming games. Like, and I think it's
they're
long
fun.
overdue. They're a breath of fresh air now, which is ironic, right? Because that was literally the only thing you could make 20 years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah, easy. Like,
Um,
well, 20 years ago we had Halo.
Well, yeah, never mind. Yeah.
But it's for me,
25.
But as far as me, is there any snuffs? And I will have to agree with Sad Gaming here. I feel like Guardian should also be on this list for Game of the Year, because I've heard nothing but good about this game that's come out. So I feel like that stuff that probably should have been there. That probably could have got moved out. Or, something could have got moved out for Guardians. But it is what it is. This is what the TGA's decided on. With that being said, who do you think will win, Bron?
I think I'm kind of along the same thought process as you, where if they are nominated for multiple categories, that kind of gives it a better shot at winning this category in total. So I'm gonna put my money on Psychonauts 2. Just and then but then like my wild horse or whatever, wild card is gonna be Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, nice.
A Rift in Time.
Yeah.
What about you, Kev?
I think it's gonna be Deathloop. Like I think this game has literally got perfect. I haven't played it, but from what I've heard, like it's got nothing but perfect scores across the board. One thing now I thought about it, and I think one thing that should be on this list, and I haven't played it again, but from everyone I've talked to and everything I've seen, like tweeted about it or posted about it, Returnal is not on this list, and that apparently is also another fantastic game. But yeah, Deathloop I think is going to end up winning. I would like to see Psychonauts 2 take it home, just because I've played it. Like out of all the games on there, like 2, I've played 2 out of here. Psychonauts would be my bias pick, but I think it's going to be Deathloop for sure.
Right there with you, Braun. I got to give my wild card pick. My wild card pick is actually not going to be Ratchet and Clank. That's going to be Metroid Dread. I feel like that definitely could get Game of the Year. But my pick, I'm probably going to pick It Takes Two, because of the coverage it's taken. So I'm glad we all have a different take on what it is. And
all right, what are we wagering?
I did not mean that, but it is what it is. But like when you have the same 3 games to choose from in like 30 categories, it's kind of hard. Okay, like well, that'll about wrap it up for the first half of our show. But don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll have a deep dive into the return of the show. Then we're wrapping things up with our top 10 sidekicks. So stick around. We've got more show coming to you in 5. We be right back, y'all.
Stay around.